Welcome back to a live show. Welcome back to a crazy 12 hours or so, or actually 24 hours. Let's say 24 hours because it has been crazy. We are close, apparently, because there has been an update from Fabrizio Romano. We're apparently closer than ever, I guess, to do a deal or to complete a deal that Tuttosport will put out there in April. Like the deal we were trying to do with Aston Villa sounds like a deal that will be in a Tuttosport article at the start of or mid-April, where it's like we're having a shitty season and Tuttosport puts out one of their weird stories that you're sitting there and you're like, yeah, definitely, that will definitely not happen. But it's Tuttosport, so you take it and you keep it moving basically, but it's actually reality. So the news is that we are close to getting Douglas Luiz. We are offering, or not offering, we are paying Aston Villa around 20 million euros, 18 to 20 million euros. We're giving them McKennie, and we're giving them Ealing Jr. as well, which sounds like, again, a deal that never happens. And if it happens, it sounds like a deal that takes a couple of months, basically, like a full month to complete, or to agree on, because you have three players who need to agree on the destination, who need to agree on wages, and you have two clubs who need to agree on wanting the players, and on top of that, the payment as well, the package. So the deal in itself is actually weird. It sounds like an NBA type of deal where you get, or like an NFL type of deal where you get, you swap with round picks and draft picks and all those stuff. Like that's the type of deal it sounds, but it's getting close, and it's a lot. It is a lot at the end of the day. Now, I saw a lot of people panicking about Douglas Luiz being out of contract 25. Actually, somebody checked that for me because I didn't have the time. I thought he had a contract until 26. I thought Douglas Luiz had a contract until 26 and not 25. But even if it's 25, Junior has a contract until 25. McKennie has a contract until 25. So if you don't think Douglas Luiz is worth, it's 26. Okay, so like we are in the wrong here, or like we are in the wrong right here, because let's say even if Douglas Luiz had a contract until 25, let's pretend he has a contract until 25. So do McKennie and Junior. It's the same situation, so you cannot really say. You can say, I don't think Douglas Luiz is worth that amount of money, but you cannot say, I don't think Douglas Luiz is worth that amount of money because of his contract situation, because then you cannot turn around and expect Juve to get almost 50 million euros combined for Junior and McKennie, who are also out of contract, and to be honest as well, McKennie didn't play that much. Junior didn't play that much to say, okay, he's worth that amount of money, basically. That's one. And McKennie, he had a top season, which is good for us because that's why the value is high. But on the flip side, he's out of contract like season as well. And actually, I was scared because I've seen him play in the Premier League. Everybody has seen him play in the Premier League. And Leeds fans were going to the Championship and they were like, take him back. It was that poor. So I don't know if he's going to do, like, I hope he does well at Aston Villa. Like, it doesn't really impact us anymore. But like, if Douglas Luiz is not worth the money because of a contract situation, then definitely we cannot command a certain type of fee for McKennie or Ealing Jr., or both of them, whatever. But it's happening, it is, or it's close to happening. Again, like if talks are this deep at one point, you already know that you're probably going to agree with the players as well. Otherwise, you do not start these type of talks, or you do not waste 3 full days on doing nothing else than actually finding an agreement on this signing. Now, the interesting part is, and we're going to talk about the players involved, but the interesting part as well is financially, it's working miracles, on the books, and that's sadly enough our reality. Like as fans, we shouldn't be talking about it, but Giuntoli needs to clean up a big mess Agnelli left behind with Allegri's contract, with players' contracts, with just poor players, in general, free agents leaving, contract situations that are messy. He needs to clean that all up whilst improving the club, while improving the 11. And I think he's doing that right now. Douglas Luiz is an upgrade on McKennie, different players, but pure quality, he is an upgrade on McKennie. And Junior is still an unknown. It's sad for me personally. I think it's sad that Junior leaves because I wanted to see more of him. But, pound for pound and immediate impact on the squad, it is an improvement. Signing Douglas Luiz over McKennie is an improvement, period. So Giuntoli is improving the team, not the squad, because, okay, maybe the squad, but you're losing 2 players, you're getting 1. So squad-wise, it looks iffy, but quality-wise, he's improving that while on the books, cleaning up the mess, the mess that was left behind, and he basically needed to clean up, or needs to clean up in the next couple of years, and especially right now. This time around this summer, because players are leaving and he's gonna need to replace them. Yeah, let's wait and see. Let me bring up the. Wait, why is this not working? Let me try to bring out the chat really quickly. It was not loading. Okay, Julian's saying it's worth 65 million, 100%. I kind of agree. I thought we would value Junior at 15, basically. And McKennie around 30 million euros. That would be 45. I thought 60. Douglas, so 20 million. I was hoping the club would only pay 10 million, but I think that's very unrealistic. But I agree. I think it's around 60, 65 million euros. I think that's a price. That's the going rate, especially for a player who's Premier League proven, who has proven that he can play at a good level. He's that. The issue right now is, also I think he's worth 65 because you can include players. If we needed to pay 65 cash, I didn't want the club to pay 65 million cash, if that makes sense. If we needed to pay straight up cash for Douglas Luiz, I didn't want the club to pay 60 million or 65 million for Douglas Luiz. Like, I don't want the club to pay 60, 65 million for Colt Miners, who I actually really like. I don't want the club to pay that because I think it's way too much. But because you're including players, and because you are in a situation where McKennie's not going to sign that new deal, so you need to cash in, and Junior is all up in the air, I'm okay with it. But like straight up cash, I wasn't willing to do that deal, personally. But the interesting part is that Aston Villa is pushing it because they have FFP issues before the end of June, like we did with Spinazzola back in the times, and Pellegrini, which was a disaster for us, obviously, because Pellegrini is awful. But hey, we managed to clean up the books. That's basically the same situation for Aston Villa. That's why it's moving rather fast, if I'm being completely, like, it's actually moving at lightning speed, considering when the news broke and the type of deal that needs to be done, it's moving really quickly. Giuntoli fleecing Premier League sides, you love to see it. I wonder how Colt Miner's injury affects everything now. It's just a muscle injury, so nothing. We have to see on the field. Douglas Luiz didn't finish the season well. We see how great this deal is. But like finishing the season, and I agree, but finishing the season poorly doesn't take away what he's done the previous years. Everybody has bad moments, so you cannot focus on that too much. If we need to be completely fair, he's worth McKennie and Junior plus 20 is a smart deal for us. Not a steal, but it's fair. Of course, we should have loved to keep selling with MOTTA. I see Junior with MOTTA, but sacrifices has to be made. Hope Sule stays. So yeah, like, it's not a steal. Like, I'm not gonna. It could be, long-term future. You might look back, or I will look back at it, and I was like, that was a steal. Right now, I don't think it's a steal, because you're including 2 players and you're paying cash. I don't think you can describe that as a steal, in my opinion. Especially not like you're not selling Rodri. That would be a steal, And I'm pushing it, but like it's still Douglas Luiz, so I don't think it's a steal. Um, I love you jumping on an opportunity signing like this without spending huge money. If we were run, or like if we um, had Paratici in charge or whatever, at the start of August we were still being in talks, and this can still fall through, but at least they're pushing for it, trying to close it quickly. I think if something happens in the next couple of days or so, and the deal is off, I think Giuntoli was like, okay, I tried to do it quickly, it didn't work, I move on. I didn't waste 2 months of the transfer window, which was the case the last couple of seasons. It was the case. Like, we wasted so much time on deals you knew you were getting done without actually doing other stuff you needed to do, outgoings this time. I saw the games against Olympiacos. He was non-existent. Okay, but again, that's 2 games. I've seen games where, okay, no, I'm not going to describe that because people take it out of context. I've seen Bremer stinking it out for an entire season. Last season he was rubbish. The first season he was poor. Period. People try to defend him, but you need to call what it was. He was poor in his first season, and the second season for me was the MVP of the team. So you cannot base your opinion on 2 games. That's completely not fair. Actually, against Olympiacos, the entire team was rubbish. Like, they were all poor, and they still like, if you watch Aston Villa throughout the season, what you saw against Olympiacos, I have no idea what happened. But that was not Aston Villa you see all season. So it's not fair to base it on 2 games. He had 18 goals and 19 assists the last 2 seasons, which is decent because he's not really an attacking midfielder. Actually, I saw a stat, or I was looking through the stats actually, really quickly, and I saw a stat that his percentage of successful passes between 40 meters, and that was forward passes starting from midfield, were ridiculous high. They were like 93% or something like that. It was insane. It was pinpoint basically. It was ridiculous. And then I was thinking about, we were giving them McKennie, and how many times did I come on this season after a game or pre-game and talked about McKennie just slowing down play because he couldn't play a simple pass, actually. Simple in terms of like, it's open, but he was not, like, he doesn't have the confidence because he knows he's extremely limited technical, and he didn't play those passes, and he carried the ball way too much. That's not him. So that's an upgrade, but he's not an attacking like player, which we still miss, and that's why I'm like, it's not a steal, because I don't think it fills the main need in the midfield, period. If Giuntoli sees this through, I'm giving him a full vote of confidence. This is a proven international player, not some non-name from Serie A. 20 million profit for us if the deals go through on the books. It could be maybe these games against Olympiacos that I saw hinder my judgment, but I have to say what I saw. Yeah, that's fair, but again, it's 2 games. What a deal, and makes our midfield instantly better. 9 goals and 5 assists just in the league. Shira just tweeted, it's 15 between 18 million, and it's close. Congrats guys. Are you not a Juve fan? Actually, I will have an Aston Villa channel on tomorrow at the same time. We will talk about Douglas Luiz, obviously about McKennie and Junior. We will talk about those things. Let me see what Nico Shira tweeted really quickly. Douglas Luiz is 1 step away from Juve. In the deal that will include Weston McKennie. On a permanent deal, puts on compensation around 15 to 80 million. That seems even better for us. But what I was saying, is that I will have Aston Villa podcast, which is also on YouTube. You can look them up. I will have them on the channel tomorrow, so we can talk about Douglas Luiz, and then we will hear from people who watch him on a weekly basis. So I'll take his word over anyone at this moment in time. Douglas Luiz is a great player. and a perfect player for Juve. Arsenal wanted him, but his price was very high last season. It was, I remember, it was high, but now it's like he also apparently has a contract situation where he doesn't want to sign, wanted more money. Aston Villa was not sure, so FFP and I think Aston Villa made a decision like we are gonna make decisions on Chiesa, Sule, and who knows who else. Um, yeah, Alex, we will talk about Douglas Luiz tomorrow, but like 2 games, like the entire Aston Villa team was poor over 2 games. They still finished comfortably top four. They're a very good side. Like again, it's 2 games. No, it doesn't matter if it's for going to the final. Then you need to not rate the entire Aston Villa squad based on 2 games. That's not how it should be doing. That's not how it works. Um, I watched Villa a lot this season. They were playing crazy this season. They play high intensity counter attacking football at times. It's ridiculous. Um, Aston Villa fans will hate this move. Douglas Luiz is fundamental to how they play and playing out from the back. Glow McKennie, pure guy. I'm not sure what you said there, to be honest, but I'm happy McKennie's gone. I'm not gonna deny that. Now, I thought you didn't Douglas Luiz when we were linked to him last year or so. Not for the money. I said it at the time. Not for that money. He was quoted at, was it 80 million euros? 80 million euros or something, and that's insane. Because I still believe, and I said it a couple of minutes ago, I still believe he doesn't fill a direct need missing in that midfield. I want more attacking ability. That's still missing. That still needs to be resolved. Last season, this season, and last season it was like 80 million or something we were quoted. It was ridiculous. And I was like, no, that's insane. Plus, we need, like, if we get coal miners, that changes a little bit, That changes. I still wanted somebody else. Like, I still like Zirkzee. That's not going to happen, obviously. But if you get coal miners still, I'm okay with it because I think coal miners going forward, like attacking wise, he's like, if you give me another option like Colt Miners, I will take him. But I need some attacking minded play in that midfield because Locatelli is not really that. Rabiot is not really that. Fajoli will probably play deeper, and Douglas Luiz is not really that type of player I was thinking about. So yeah, and in this situation, you get McKennie off the books, which you needed to do because of the contract situation. And with Junior, he was always going to leave. I made my peace with that. But I think it's better to include him in a Douglas Luiz deal than in a Calafiori deal because the value will be much higher in this deal than it would if you included it in a Calafiori deal. So that's why I'm okay with it, more so than I was potentially last summer, because that would have been straight up cash, and that would have been ridiculous at that moment in time. That would be insane, for obvious reasons. But yeah, let me see the chat. Okay, what I was going to talk about is the title of the show, that Giuntoli is on fire. Now, when Giuntoli came in, I said it, and I will repeat myself. I said, I will give him 2 full summers. This one and next one, not to say sack him, but to make to have a very strong opinion on him. Because this summer, it's all about clearing out, starting over again. He did that. Brought in THIAGO MOTTA, moved out Allegri. That's step 1 because that's how you start your new Juve basically. He did that, and now it's about clearing out. Sandro's gone. The Rabiot situation, you needed to deal with McKennie, you need to deal with Chiesa. The Chilio is still out there. Like, you have a lot of players on loan. It's about clearing out and trying to set out and work with Motta to set out the guidelines basically for the coming years. Basically, that was this season, and also improve the squad. Obviously, next season it was about, okay, now you improved, you build a solid base, and you kind of rectify what you didn't do this summer or where you went wrong. You buy 1, 2 key players in that team. You move out the players you fail to move out now, or who fail to impress the following season, and you start to build up your squad again. That's why I said 2 full summers. Now this summer is off to a great start because you sold Chesney, or you're gonna sell Chesney for, what was it? Let's say 5 million euros. You sold Kayo for, is it 7.2, which was 3 point and a bit plus Valenza on the books. You did that. You get McKennie off the books, potentially. Junior, you get Douglas Luiz in. On the books, it's a profit, you know, because at the end of the day, I hate to talk about it, but we need to balance out the books. That's the sad reality at this moment in time while improving. He's doing that. He brings in Di Gregorio, almost half as cheap as Chesney, almost half as young, basically, as well. You do that. You are very close to bringing in... excuse me, to bringing in, let me see what the Di Marzio is saying, to bring in Calafiori, which is also a big piece. Let me see what Di Marzio is saying. You bring in Calafiori, or you potentially could bring in Calafiori, which is also a piece of important business, especially for us, but for Thiago Motta. Let me see what Di Marzio is saying, because why is this? Let me see. I cannot read out. Oh, I don't want to talk about Greenwood. I'm not gonna lie. Let me see. Juve has reached an agreement with Greenwood, I think. Yeah, Greenwood. I cannot read it out. Okay. Juve has an agreement with the player and a security winger from United. Okay. So they agreed. Oh my God, my computer is hanging. Juve has reached an agreement with Greenwood, and negotiations are still needed. Price at 50 million euros, but Juve is prepared to offer 30 million euros, which is 50 million euros. That's insane. So basically, Di Marzio is saying there is an agreement with Greenwood and there is an understanding with Manu, or like to talk about Greenwood and to find an agreement. I'm not gonna lie, I refuse to talk about Greenwood because of the obvious thing. Like, that's why I avoided to talk about Mason Greenwood. All this, what was it, season? You know, I never mentioned him. We were linked with Greenwood all season long, all summer long, basically. I didn't mention Greenwood because of, well, what happened. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know what happened. I saw people talking about sound bits. I never heard any sound bits. So I actually, somebody needs to explain the full story to me. I just saw the snippets and it's disgusting. It's as simple as that, you know. And I don't even know how to actually talk about this, you know, because I was kind of like, this is not about talent right now, you know, because I don't think anyone is denying his football ability. I don't think anyone is denying that he has talent or something. I don't think that's the issue right now. That's not the main concern. Yeah, like it's crazy. Like, it's crazy because Chiesa Sule is gone, obviously. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You know, again, like, it's not really the place to talk about talent or something, because that's kind of irrelevant right now. You know, the talent is, yeah, it's undeniable. Like, it's undeniable that he's talented, but that's not the point right now. That's just not the point. You know, when I'm talking about Giuntoli cooking, you know, basically. And again, you know, if you want to talk about talent, that's fine. You know, yeah, cook. You know, talent-wise, nobody's gonna debate that. But that's not the issue right now. Like, that's not the issue right now, because the image of the club is what the issue is right now. That's just the issue right now. The image of the club. That's the main concern. You know, that's the talking point. That's what's gonna be the talking point, excuse me, all over the place. That's it. That's it. And actually, I have no idea how to talk about it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Let me read out the article really quickly. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me open the article. 1 second. Let me read out the article really quickly because I just saw his tweet and that's about it. Juve is pushing in these last couple of hours. It's getting closer to Douglas Luiz and Di Gregorio. Okay, here we go. Where is it? Okay, so he's saying Man U are asking for 50 million euros. But in these latest hours, there have been contacts with his agent, and he has given his priority to joining Juve. The club. Okay, the club basically has an agreement with Greenwood, and they are banking their hopes on the fact that they find an agreement with him to lower the price for Man U because he wants to join Juve, and that's what they're going to use to kind of convince Man U to lower the price around 30 million euros with some bonuses, but only if Chiesa or Sule leaves, who both are liked by Roma, which is like very strange Roma part, but it is what it is. Giuntoli doing his job, first director since MOTTA to grab a market properly. Man, with this news, Julian, it's not good, Ale. Juve better investigate that situation to its fullest and be crystal clear there's no possible retribution. It should be best to just stay away. Again, I don't know the full story. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I saw when it happened, but that's like 2-3 years ago. I don't know, and I never followed it up because I was like, yeah, it doesn't really affect me. You know, I don't follow Man U, whatever, so it never popped up again. You know, on my timeline, whatever. I never really looked into it, so I have no idea what happened, like what actually happened, because he got banned by Man U, and then he got moved out to Getafe. He didn't play for a season. Like I'm so confused, you know. And then somebody last week said that he married the same girl and has a child with him. Like, I don't even know how to I don't even know how to talk about that. Like whatever at this moment in time. Di Marzio saying that we need to sell Sule of Chiesa, which is definitely not going to be an issue. We will sell Chiesa or Sule or both of them. It's just gonna happen. It's just gonna happen that we are gonna sell one of them. So Greenwood in, Chiesa out. Yeah, Greenwood is talented, but I don't want to talk about him either, about his baggage. I agree, but Juventini will cheering his goal if he scores. He beat his wife, but the wife forgave him. Now they have a kid. Yeah, so it's true. Like, I'm so confused. I'm so confused. It sucks, but if he isn't guilty by the law, there isn't much to do. He will get a job regardless. There are videos out there. Like, I know, like, the law didn't find him guilty because I think his wife or whatever dropped the charges. Was it that? Like, I don't know. Like, I read something a couple of weeks ago, but I didn't even read the full article because I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen, basically. We have a really, really low image anyway. Might as well become the villains. Yeah, but this is next level. This has nothing to do with cooking up the books or overvaluing potential players. Like, this is different. This has nothing to do with football. Too many excuses for Chiesa. I can't blame Malenic for everything. Man U won't lower the price, so I don't think Greenwood is coming anyway. I don't think they have a choice, to be honest. I think everybody knows he doesn't, like, Man U are not going to keep him. And who's going to pay 50 million euros for him? Who's going to do that? So I wouldn't be sure about that 50 million euros. I mean, just talent-wise, yeah. Why is Juve valued at 40 million euro less than Greenwood when he's 40 million less? No, he's not. He's not. He's not valued at 40 million less. He's valued at 40. As far as I know, the charges against him dropped. So sum it up, Mason Greenwood may not have been found guilty, but he's also actually not found innocent. Yeah, that's basically it. Greenwood, our best player. Let's not overrate him now. What? I'm not sure who said that. But yeah, that's the breaking news, which I was trying to avoid to talk about for so long. Yeah, man. I'm actually confused. I'm not gonna lie. Di Marzio talked about Chiesa, that his agent met with Roma, and there is a possibility that a deal could be done. Basically, that's it. You know, man. I think I'm gonna wrap this show up because I have I've actually no idea how to comment about it. Like, I don't want this deal to happen. Like, there's even if you want to sell Chiesa, which fair, like whatever, I will back Motta. If he doesn't want to use Chiesa, then it is what it is. I think it's not the best of decisions to make. But if he doesn't want to play Chiesa, or the contract situation is what it is, again, like many players, like McKennie, for example, and the club is like, okay, now we need to make a decision, and we are willing to let Chiesa go, then fine, I guess. But Greenwood, man. No, Motta will not veto Greenwood for sure, because Giuntoli is not gonna find an agreement with a player, talk with Manu, and then turn around and tell Motta, hey, by the way, I'm close to signing Greenwood. No, man, these things have been talked over because you're selling Chiesa or Sule. Like, Motta knows these things, and people hit the like button. Only 16 likes, which makes it even worse. The stream, but like, he knows, Motta knows. Like, he's not gonna turn around 1st of July and tell Motta, by the way, Sule and Chiesa are out, you're getting Greenwood. Like, these things have been talked over, you know. So there's definitely no veto, no way. Yeah, like Motta approved. Romano's just recycling tweets. Like, he needs something to tweet. Obviously, Motta approved. Like, Giuntoli's not gonna sell 2 players and bring in a player and only ask Thiago Motta today if he's willing to do that. Like, come on, like, be realistic. Romano just needs to put out statements, put out tweets on a weekly, daily, hour basis, and that's what happens. So you don't need to take stocks in that. But yeah, man, I'm so confused. Let me see. What else is Giuntoli saying? Not Giuntoli, Di Marzio. Douglas Luiz will arrive. Coal miners are still an objective for Juve, but they will move calmly because Atalanta's is asking for a lot of money. It's not certain that Rabiot will stay because Juve asked him what to do. And they didn't even talk about money yet. This is insane. And we don't think footballers are saints, but like, this is next level. Like, this is not gambling or something, you know. Alex, I'm not sure who you're debating because nobody's hyping up Greenwood like that. Like, is usually just going for his targets, and Motta is like, yes, sure. No, Motta has full say in this, 100% certain. But yeah, people, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm actually gonna close this one up because I'm so confused. I'm actually confused. Like, I have no idea what to say. Chiesa, like I said, you know, with Roma, there are margins to do that deal. Coal miners still an objective of Juve, and it's not certain that Rabiot will stay. That's basically it. But people, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I need to clear my thoughts a bit, and I'll be back tomorrow, same hour, with an Aston Villa fan channel. So we will talk about Douglas Luiz Jr. We will talk about the deal, the cash. McKennie, what type of player Douglas Luiz is, what they think of Douglas Luiz, because there's a lot of controversy. Like, Aston Villa fans are extremely pissed. They're losing out on Douglas Luiz, whilst Juve fans are more optimistic about getting Douglas Luiz. So I think it's good. We're going to hear from an Aston Villa fan who watches Douglas Luiz on a weekly basis and has for a couple of seasons. That will be a more fair assessment of Douglas Luiz before we will actually see him. But that's it for me, people. Hit the like button if you haven't. Subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you tomorrow.